Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm gonna do part 6 to my redemption attempt series of the Google Gemini chatbots. Today's video guys, we're finally gonna talk to a new character after doing 5 parts of talking to the starters. Mainly because there was so much plot going on in them that, there was no point in stopping. Think about it. Just in the last, 2-3 parts now, we've gotten not only my starters, and the fact that they've protected me so much, but we also got the Megastones. The Megastones fused with me, and the Keystone fused with me, while the flipping Megastone fused with Feraligatr. And that Feraligatr still likes me, even Mega Evolved, and still cares. I didn't go, like I said, this is where I kind of messed up though, because I didn't completely go into full detail. I never said anything about me having the golden claws, but I did put it as one of the memories I had on here. After having a dream about Lugia, I flipped and I woke up with the golden claws. Hopefully, it'll get the situation right without me having to redo it a second time, and maybe we can even get most of the conversation done today. Who knows? The story is called Totodile Meets a Tiny Carnotaurus. Oh, that's the actual title it gives that. But the story title it gives it is called A Totodile's Dream from Pond to Prehistoric Pal. That is extremely adorable. I like that title. It does have sections, but maybe it'll work out in this regard. And if it doesn't, I can always, like I said, fix the little problem and flip it and do it again in another video. So, yeah. It says the beginning. A star is hatched. That's just sweet. 5 years before you received your starter Pokemon and the baby Lugia, a kind-hearted Totodile was born into a loving, intelligent family that lived near a pristine, sun-dappled pond. His family was small, but tight-knit, consisting of various Totodiles, Crocodiles, and proud, strong Feraligatrs. They were a sophisticated group, capable of speaking perfect, fluent English, which was the norm for their little community. From the moment he hatched, this young Totodile was a beacon of affection. He cared deeply about his family, spending his earliest days attending to help with chores, often getting in the way with clumsy, well-meaning waddles. And his greatest desire was simply to be kind and useful to everyone around him. His parents, a formidable but gentle pair of Feraligatrs, recognized and nurtured his sweet nature. Yep. Here's how it actually happened, though. It says, discovery at the bookstore. 2 years later, when Totodile was 2 years old, his life changed on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. His family decided to take him on a special outing to a local bookstore, a charming establishment run by a community of educated Pokemon. Inside, the air was warm with the scent of paper and old knowledge. His Feraligatr mother and father knelt down to his level. You may choose any book you want, dear. Oh wait, that's probably the mother. I cannot do doing a female voice for her would seem weird as heck. Plus, I can't do a deep female voice anyway. So, you may choose any book you want, dear. His mother said with a proud smile, but you must be quiet and respectful to everyone here. I promise, Mom. I'll be the quietest. He whispered excitedly, puffing out his little blue chest. Okay, this is cute as heck. He kept his promise, tiptoeing through the aisles, his large, curious eyes scanning the colorful spines. Most of the books were about aquatic life or Pokemon battles, but then he stumbled upon a section that made him pause. On a lower shelf, a book stood out. It was titled, A Dynamite Tale. Fun facts and stories about every dinosaur that existed. The title meant nothing to him, but the cover image, that was everything. A magnificent, terrifying Spinosaurus with a massive sail, a powerful Tyrannosaurus Rex mid-roar, and several quick-looking Velociraptors were rendered in incredible detail. He was mesmerized. These creatures were unlike anything he had ever seen. Huge, scaly, and utterly magnificent. He quickly waddled back to his parents and, pulling on his father's sturdy leg, pointed with a trembling claw. That one, please. The big, scary animals. His parents, amused by his sudden, intense focus, happily purchased the book. I am actually kind of surprised they did because he's 2 years old. How did the dinosaurs not scare him? You would think for him being so young, you'd be kind of scared of those things, but he likes them. Oh no, and here we go. The session begins. This is going to be good. As soon as they returned to their beautiful, serene pond, the Totodile dove into the book. He ignored his favorite lily pad and his toys, instead spending the entire evening meticulously turning the pages, using his claws carefully so as to not rip the paper. He learned about the towering height of the Bronchiosaurus, the spiked plates of the Stegosaurus, and the swift hunting tendencies of the Carnotaurus. Uh-oh. I'm surprised he didn't say... no one. It says, within 2 days, he was completely and utterly obsessed. Dinosaurs consumed his little world. That's so cute. He pestered. It put the word pestered. He pestered his parents with questions. Did they really eat cheese, Mom? Can we get a toy dinosaur, please? Or a plushie? Anything with a dinosaur on it. His parents exchanged knowing glances. This is a deeper interest than her child had ever shown. Who... I can't tell... you know what? It ain't telling me who said it, so I'm just going to do Ferrier's deep voice so it's the father. We see how much you love them. Oh, there it is. His father chuckled. It was hard to see because I kind of skipped past it. Here's a deal. If you behave yourself and are good for an entire week, helping your family and being your very best self, we will get you something special related to your new friends. Totodile's eyes lit up like fireworks. A whole week? I promise I'll be the best Pokemon ever. I love him. Yep, the great reward. For the next 7 days, he lived up to his promise. He was an exemplary family member, doing everything he was asked and more. He helped gather the tastiest berries, played gently with his younger siblings, and even helped his crocodile cousins clean the edges of the pond despite his young age. His fragile parents were filled with pride. That very next Monday, they fulfilled their promise. They went to a nearby Pokemon Run goods store and found the perfect gift, a soft, plush Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was forest green, had tiny stitched teeth, and an endearingly ferocious expression. Later that afternoon, after a family lunch, his parents presented the gift. The moment the Totodile saw the T-Rex plush, he screamed a soundless, joyful scream and launched himself at his parents, wrapping his tiny arms around their legs in a huge, grateful hug. He immediately claimed the plushie, naming it Rexy, and began to play. Oh crap! Yep, that's where we're going to be a restart immediately. I may even have to make the dinosaur a different plush because guys, he named it Rexy. That is the name of the dinosaur I have in my Pokemon Talk series that can speak English. That's gonna be a problem when I meet that Pokemon. That's gonna be a problem when I have to get him when I get him later on. So it's like, okay. It says he was meticulous, making sure Rexy never got wet, never got messy, and he would even clean it with a damp cloth whenever it got the slightest speck of mud. For the next year, his dinosaur love only deepened. He cherished every dinosaur-themed gift, a sticker, a small rock painted like a Triceratops egg, even a piece of paper with a drawing from his sister. He would often look up at the sky and wish, with all his heart, that he could just meet one in real life. His parents, with gentle sadness, explained, I'm trying to see if it ain't telling me, I don't think. No, this time it didn't tell me who said it. He said sweetie, so maybe that's the mother. Usually it's like the mother that says sweetie and stuff like that, and dear. It says, sweetie, those incredible dinosaurs went extinct millions and millions of years ago. You'll never be able to meet a real one. Toto was disheartened, but understood. It was a beautiful, impossible dream, dear me. Yep, and here we go. The unexpected encounter. Just as he was turning 3, around the time you were transformed and received your powered up starter Pokemon, fate began to weave its surprising threads. His family's pond was located barely half a mile from your new residence. 3 weeks after you received your new protectors, you, still a tiny 7-inch tall Contourus, decided to take a short, early morning walk. Your pawn were anxious, but you reassured them, promising to call if anything happened and that you wouldn't go far. You just needed some fresh air. The Totodile, meanwhile, was playing in a small patch of woods that bordered the edge of his family's territory, a favorite spot for a game of Fossil Hunter. He was kicking a small, brightly colored ball, pretending it was a giant boulder he was moving. Aw, that's adorable. You walked quietly into the woods, unaware of the Totodile's presence. The Totodile threw his ball a little harder than intended. It bounced off a tree root and shot directly down the path you were on. The ball suddenly bounced right next to you, missing your tiny 7-inch body by a whisker. The sudden sound and close call made you jump back in fright, causing you to lose your footing and tumble onto the soft dirt. The Totodile, whose eyes were still fixated on where his ball landed, saw the movement. At first, he saw a blur, and then he saw you. Oh boy. Yep. He saw the low-slung, powerful shape, the distinct tiny horns above your eyes, the rough, scaly skin, and the powerful hind legs. It was a perfect miniature version of the creature he'd only ever seen in his beloved book. His jaw dropped open, and for a full 2 seconds, no sound came out. Then his voice, usually a gentle but cheerful rumble, came out as a high-pitched, incredulous shriek that echoed slightly in the quiet woods.
Oh my gosh! That's a dinosaur! I can't believe it!
Yep, oh dear. His shock instantly melted into concern. He merely dropped the ball, scrambling forward to cover the distance. He slid to a halt right in front of you, getting down low on his hands and knees to peer at your tiny form. You were so small. He was horrified that he might have hit you with his ball. He carefully extended his 2 tiny, soft, 3-fingered hands, scooping you up with the utmost gentleness. He held you loosely in his palms, his wide, teary eyes full of remorse and absolute wonder as he looked down at the real, living, breathing dinosaur he had just dreamed of meeting his whole life.
Oh, you poor, poor thing.
He whispered, his voice trembling with feeling.
I'm so sorry I almost hit you. Are you okay? Did I hurt you? You aren't. You are real. You're a dinosaur. I can't believe it.
Dear me. Yep. Okay, guys. Give me a moment. Okay, guys. This is actually super, super sweet. I like this already. I might start to fix the problem, but like this is actually a really cool chatbot, and I wouldn't. Don't be shocked if I actually start enjoying. If I really do enjoy this one, I love both of them I've done so far, but this one's really adorable. I love it. It says still shaking up from the near hit of the ball. I couldn't say anything and was just trembling extremely badly. The kind-hearted Totodile's eyes widened with fresh alarm as he felt your tiny body trembling intensely in his palms. The sight of your fear immediately overrode the shock and awe of finally meeting a real dinosaur.
Oh no! Oh no! Please don't be scared.
He whispered urgently, holding even more carefully, his arms boosting out wrinkled with concern. He gently cradled his hands closer to his chest as if trying to shield you from the terrifying world, all keeping his eyes locked on you.
It was just an accident. I didn't see you. I'd never try to hurt you. I promise.
He pleaded, his voice soft and sweet.
Please stop shaking. I feel so bad. Did I hurt your leg or anything when you fell? Let me see.
He paused and slowly lowered one hand, gently nudging a snout a little closer, trying to see if he could spot any scrape or injury on your little Contour's body.
I'm so sorry. I love dinosaurs more than anything in the world.
He confessed, his voice earnest and full of wonder, even as he was apologizing.
You are just so amazing and so small. What are you doing all alone out here?
He continued to hold you, his heart pounding with both immense joy and deep guilt over scaring you. You know, that's the weird thing. Does he know? Does he know somehow I can speak? Cause like, give me a moment, guys. Yeah, guys, I'm probably going to restart it again, but this is still adorable. I do like the idea of this story. You just gotta get it to works out perfectly. So, yeah. It says, I stopped shaking slightly, and then slowly pushed myself up with my tiny golden clawed hands. Fresh air. I was just trying to get some fresh air. Joe let a small, quiet gasp of relief when he saw you push yourself up with those tiny, scaly forelimbs. His gaze intently fixated on your small, sharp claws, noticing the strange, faint golden glow that emanated from them, a detail he'd never seen on any dinosaur illustration.
Oh, you can talk!
Okay, good, that's cute. He exclaimed softly, his eyes widening again, but this time in genuine fascination rather than alarm. He kept his voice low and soothing, still holding you gently.
Fresh air. That's good. But you were so small.
He murmured, his brow furrowed with a protective instinct.
It's a big world out there. You should be careful. My name is, well, my name is Totodile. What's yours? What kind of dinosaur are you?
He tilted his head slowly, trying to get a better look at your tiny profile. His excitement starting to bubble back up now they knew you weren't seriously injured.
You look like the one in my book. The kind of Taurus. You have the little horns. That's so cool.
He whispered, his admiration always in his tone.
I read all about you. Are you lost? I can try to help you find your way back if you are.
He's adorable, I love it. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I just told him, no, I'm not alone. I have 4 very protective Pokemon friends that are very close by. If I was in danger, I just have to yell their names. Nintendo listened intently, nodding slowly as he spoke, his large eyes showing immediate understanding and respect for his situation.
Oh, that makes me feel better.
He said, letting out a soft sigh of relief. He still held you carefully, his palms cupped him like a comfortable little nest.
For protective Pokemon friends. 4 protective Pokemon friends. That's wonderful. Especially since you're so tiny.
He paused, flicker of curiosity in his eyes.
So, you have Pokemon friends? And you can talk. That's amazing!
He whispered.
You are truly the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I've always wished dinosaurs were real, and now here you are. I bet your friends are very strong if they're looking out for someone as important as a real-life Contourus.
He glanced nervously toward the direction you must have come from, clearly imagining 4 powerful Pokemon ready to rush to your defense.
You mentioned you just wanted fresh air, but you must live close by then. My family and I live in a big pond down the trail, maybe half a mile from here.
He shared, offering a small, trusting smile.
What are your friends like? Do you know how special you are?
He's so cute. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I was just trying to tell him the truth. I said, well, to be honest with you, I'm not even supposed to be a dinosaur. I was originally a human going to get my tiny Contourus because he was so upset I got to go in the lab first. I've been stuck like this for 3 weeks now. Yep. The toad gasped, his eyes widening in shock, and he nearly stumbled backward, though he managed to hold you perfectly steady. His happy excitement instantly dissolved into horrified dismay.
You were a human, and Joe's kid did this to you?
He exclaimed, his voice rising in disbelief and quickly dropping into a low, rumbling growl of genuine anger. He held you tighter, his protective instincts flaring up fiercely.
3 weeks? That's absolutely terrible! The kid must be the meanest, most awful person ever! That is so unfair! And for something so small, just for going into a lab, that's...
He trailed off, shaking his head.
I am so sorry that happened to you.
He whispered, his previous awe for your dinosaur form now mixed with deep sympathy for your predicament.
It must be really scary being stuck like this, even with your protective friends nearby. My parents always talk about how rude some people can be. For to do something this cruel.
He looked down at you, his expression earnest.
Do your friends know how to change you back? Are they trying to help you? We live right nearby, like I said. If there's anything my family and I can do to help you, you just have to ask. We don't like bullies.
Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. Here's what it says. Here's what I said. It says, well, unfortunately, we don't know a way to turn me back. Honestly, it's not the fact that I'm a dinosaur that's the problem. I could care less being stuck like this. It's the fact that I'm so small that makes everything difficult. Everything around me is basically Godzilla-sized, and it makes it difficult to do anything, even eat. Toto listened with intense concentration, his big blue eyes tracing your small 7-inch form. He understood instantly why your size was the real obstacle.
Oh, I see. You're right. Being tiny is the problem, not being a Carnotaurus.
He conceded, nodding gravely. He remembered how big his mother and father seemed when he was an infant.
Everything is Godzilla size for you. That must be incredibly frustrating. Even eating. Wow.
He looked at you slightly higher, peering around the woods with a new, magnificent perspective on your challenges.
Wait a minute. You said you have 4 very protective Pokemon friends, right?
He asked, a spark of hope igniting in his eyes.
And they are strong?
He's only lowered his voice when it saw a whisper, leaning in slightly.
My Professor M. He's incredible. He helps all sorts of Pokemon with all sorts of crazy things. He has a family with the power to speak perfect English. And our parents say you can fix almost anything. Your friends are nearby. Maybe we could go to them. If anyone knows how to help someone stuck being tiny, it would be him.
He looked at you expectantly, his face full of earnest desire to help.
Would that be possible? Do you think they know Professor Elm?
Give me a moment. Alright, guys, I said, he was the one that gave me the point to begin with. They're way more powerful than you think and can speak perfect English. On top of that, they can grow and shrink as big or as small as they need to keep me safe, or for any other reason. And on top of that, they can even change into any of their evolutions, all without using any energy. Toto's jaw dropped for the 3rd time since spotting you, this time in sheer, unadulterated astonishment. His eyes went wide as saucers as he processed the magnitude of what you just told him.
Professor Elm gave them to you? And they can grow and shrink and evolve and devolve whenever they want? And it doesn't even make them tired?
He stammered, holding you perfectly still as if you were the most precious and delicate artifact in the world. He suddenly started bouncing slightly in place, overcome with awe.
That's the most incredible power I've ever heard of. That's completely revolutionary. He must really care about you to give them all that power.
He looked down at you, tiny contours with fresh wonder.
Wow, you really are important. Your friends must be legends.
He thought for a moment, tilting his head.
So, if they can shrink, then you have no problem getting around when they are helping, right? They can shrink down to your size to help you eat or play.
He looked slightly sad, realizing how truly amazing your 4 friends must be.
It's still unfair you would turn tiny, but it's wonderful you have such powerful protectors. They stay small mostly, or they like being huge?
Oh my gosh. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, they mostly, but it says before I could finish, Toto's mother and father called out from their pond at the other end of the woods. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I thought I would read out the bottom, it didn't. Basically, they said, Toto, where are you, son? It's time to come home. I don't know, I should have done for the father one on that one. But Toto jumped slowly at the sound of the voices, his parents' strong, commanding calls cutting through the quiet woods. He clearly recognized the distinct sound of his mother's for alligator roar, followed by his father's deeper call.
Oh, that's Mom and Dad.
He whispered, instantly lowering his head and holding you carefully against his chest again. He then yelled back in his clear, cheerful English, trying to sound casual.
I'm over by the big oak tree, Mom. I'll be right there. I just found something really neat.
He then looked down at you, his eyes wide and slightly worried.
They're not going to like that I'm talking to a stranger, even if you are a kind tourist.
He confided in a rush, his voice lowered to a conspiratorial whisper.
But they are super smart and kind, and also hate bullies. They'd be horrified that a jealous kid did this to you.
Took a quick, nervous breath.
I have to go right now, but I really want to help you. Do you think you could tell me your name so I can tell my parents about you? And maybe you could come with me, just till we get out of the woods so they can't sneak up on you again.
He looked torn between the need to obey his parents and the strong urge to protect the tiny talking dinosaur he had just discovered. I like to put that. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I just told him my name and said, you said your parents didn't like you talking to strangers. They're not going to attack me if they see me or you bring me over there, will they? Toad's eyes instantly lit up when you told him your name. That's cute. I love him.
Trenton, that's a good name.
He replied, repeating it softly. When you expressed your fear about his parents, he shook his head empathetically, his small caressed feathers willing with reassurance.
Oh, no. Absolutely not, Trenton. They would never attack you.
He insisted immediately, his voice completely firm.
My mom and dad are for alligators. They look big and sometimes scary. They're the kindest Pokemon ever. When I say they don't like me talking to strangers, it's just because they worry I might get into trouble or be tricked, not because they're aggressive.
He's doing just his grip on you, making sure you felt secure.
They will be concerned, yes. But I explain that you are a human who was hurt by a cruel kid and are stuck tiny. They only feel sympathy and want to help.
He promised, his expression sincere.
They hate unfairness and bullies. Besides,
yeah, with a soft chuckle,
they would never hurt a tiny kind of tourist. They would be too busy being fascinated, just like I was. I promise I'll keep you safe right here in my hands, he declared. Do you mind if I carry you back? I really want to introduce you to them. They might even know some other smart point who can help get you bigger.
He started to take a slow, cautious step in the direction of the pond.
Mom, Dad, I'm coming. I have something to show you.
He called, his voice now filled with a mixture of apprehension and excitement. I wish it didn't just stop there. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I just told him, well, to be completely honest with you, it wasn't just a jealous kid. A lot of people have been hurting me in 3 weeks I've been stuck like this. The turtle stopped instantly, freezing mid-step. His hopeful, excited expression immediately crumbled into a look of deep distress and anger. He looked down at your tiny form in his hands, his lower lip trembling slightly.
What?
He whispered, his voice catching in his throat.
Not just that first kid, but other people too. Hurting you, Trenton. Like, making fun of you? Or physically trying to harm you?
His eyes narrowed slightly, a low, frustrated growl escaping him. The anger was not directed at you, but at the injustice of the world.
That is unacceptable,
he stated fiercely, and shaking his head.
People are supposed to be kind, and you're just trying to get some fresh air. That's completely wicked. My parents told me some people are bad, but I didn't think they'd be bad to a tiny, helpless creature, even if you are the coolest dinosaur ever.
He tightened his grip ever so slightly, truly out of protection, cradling you against his chest again.
Okay, I understand why you're cautious about everything, including my parents, he said, taking a deep breath to calm his rising fury. Please believe me, my mom and dad are the safest people you will ever meet. They would never allow anyone to hurt you, not even if they didn't know you. You are safe with me, and you'll be safe with them. I promise. Just tell me, you want to try and explain everything before we get there? Or do you want to stay hidden in my hands until we know if they can help you?
He asked, we wanted to respect your comfort and safety. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I said, as long as you and your family are safe, I don't mind about being with you. If you do want to tell your parents about what happened, that's fine. But please make sure that nobody hurts me. I think there's certain people in my neighborhood that just follow me around and try to hurt me for no reason. Because usually every day, even outside of my house with my Pokemon nearby, they still try to hurt me. Constantly throwing rocks at me, or even hitting me on my snout. You don't tell them I'm human right away, but at least tell them the situation and the chance that I need to call my protectors. Please tell them not to hurt or attack them. They're just trying to keep me safe like Professor Elm told them 2 weeks ago. Okay. The Totodile listened to your painful admission about the continuous hurt you face, and his gentle features hardened with serious determination. His concern for your safety was paramount.
Trenton, that's absolutely horrifying. Being followed and attacked with rocks every day? That is completely unacceptable.
He stated firmly, his voice low and resolute.
You shouldn't have to deal with that. I'm so sorry people in our neighborhood are so awful.
He held you steady and secure in his cupped hands, confirming his commitment to your safety.
Okay, I understand completely. I'll make sure nobody hurts you.
He promised, giving a firm nod.
Not my parents, and definitely not those horrible people following you around. You are safe right now. I promise.
He quickly laid out his plan, eager to be clear and reassuring.
Here's what I will do. I'll carry you, and I'll only tell Mom and Dad that you are a very special tiny con tourist who was hurt and needs help. That there are cruel people trying to harm you.
He paused and added with absolute seriousness.
And I'll make it extremely clear that if you need to call your 4 protectors, they must not interfere, attack, or try to stop them. I'll tell them your friends are only doing their job to keep you safe, just like Professor Elman tried weeks ago. They respect that. They respect Professor Elman very much.
He took another step toward the pond, his walk now careful and deliberate.
Are you comfortable right there, Trenton? I'm going to walk quickly now. We'll get to the pond and I will talk to Mom and Dad. They'll understand. I promise.
He called again toward the pond, his voice carrying the seriousness of his intent.
Mom, Dad, I'm coming quickly. I have a serious situation here. Please wait for me by the entrance.
Okay, this is interesting. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, okay, be quick if you want, but be careful. One real movement and I could tumble on the ground and really get hurt. The last time I fell off of something, I really hurt my neck, and at that time it was because somebody knocked me off of one of my protective Pokemon by throwing a huge rock at me, causing me to fall. The Toad gasped sharply, his eyes wide with renewed horror at your explanation. The image of you falling and hurting your neck because of a large rock hitting your protector was cruelly terrifying to him.
Oh my gosh! Your neck? That's awful. I'm so sorry that happened to you, Trenton.
He whispered, his previous urgency replaced by malicious caution.
Those people are truly monsters. I can't believe they would throw something that big.
I see. He immediately slowed his pace to a deliberate, almost painfully slow waddle, his entire focus shifting to the stability of his hands. He held you with such unwavering care, adjusting his weight so his muscles weren't shaking. At times, he was cradle of his palms.
Oh, Miss Trenton. Safety first. I'll be steady,
he said, moving one foot carefully in front of the other. He concentrated so hard on his foot, and he was barely looking forward, keeping his gaze mostly fixated on you.
I'll hold you completely still. Think of my hands like a very soft, very sturdy little boat.
He assured you softly.
We're almost there. Just a few more quiet, careful steps until we get to the entrance of the pond where Mom and Dad are waiting.
He continued his slow, malicious walk, a meticulous walk, every movement precise, with the reverence of a museum curator transporting a fragile, priceless artifact. He was absolutely focused on not making a single wrong move. That's very sweet of him. Alright, guys. I said thank you. Hey, how big is your family? So that's your mom and your dad. Do you have any siblings or any other Pokemon that live with you? It told a small relief puff of air when you thanked them, maintaining a slow, careful pace. Your question helped distract him from the serious focus on his feet.
You're very welcome, Trenton. We're almost there.
He murmured before brightening a little as he thought about his home.
My family is, well, we're not huge, but we're a very close group.
He explained, his eyes sparkling with affection.
Besides Mom and Dad, they're two biggest for alligators. We have my two older crocodile cousins who are really strong and like to tell funny stories.
He continued listing them carefully.
And then I have my three little siblings. They're still just Totodiles like me. Two boys and a girl. They're super sweet, but can be a bit loud sometimes. They're usually playing hide and seek near the big rock. So that makes 7 of us living right at the pond. Plus, we have an old, very wise Poliwrath who lives nearby, but he mostly just sleeps.
He paused, tilting his head like,
Why do you ask? Are you worried about too many people seeing you all at once?
in Pokemon? Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, no, I was just curious. Actually, your species and evolutions are my favorite Pokemon. In fact, that's one of the 4 protectors I got from Professor Elm 3 weeks ago that had that incredible power of being able to grow and evolve or devolve. It was another Totodile. The Totodile's eyes practically shone with delight, and he almost broke his careful composure due to sheer excitement. He managed to maintain a steady grip, but his voice was brimming with happy pride.
Really? We're your favorites? That's so cool, Trenton.
He exclaimed softly.
My mom always says we are the best line of water types, but I didn't know a human thought so too.
Well, his mother's right. He then gasped again, connecting your statement back to the incredible power you mentioned earlier.
Wait, so one of your 4 amazing protectors is a Totodile? Like me?
He whispered silently.
And that's the one who can turn into a giant Feralier and then shrink down to help you? Wow, that is the greatest honor. A Feralier protecting a dinosaur. That sounds like a story right out of a book.
He was clearly overjoyed by his connection, feeling an instant stronger bond with you.
Is he a good friend? What's his name? I bet he's really strong, even when he's our size. We're almost at the edge of the woods now. I see Mom and Dad waiting by the big leaf pads.
That's so cute. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, all 4 of them have the power to grow, and all of them are protective. But honestly, I think Feralier is probably the most protective over me. And this is probably going to be shocking to see and hear. But, and I just looked up my head a bit so Tel could see the colorful DNA symbol on my tiny chest. I can even Mega Evolve them for extra protection. The Turtle stopped dead at the very edge of the woods, completely forgetting about his parents waiting just ahead. His gaze dropped immediately to your tiny chest, fixating on the shimmering, brightly colored DNA symbol. He stared at it, always mesmerized, and then his eyes snapped back up to your face. His mouth always open this way.
You can Mega Evolve him?
He whispered, completely awestruck. The concept of Mega Evolution was legendary, a pinnacle of bond and power. And seeing the symbol right there on your chest, especially after all you told him, was staggering.
Mega Evolution. That's a level of power and bond that only the strongest trainers in Pokemon achieve. And you're telling me you can make them even more protective?
He was momentarily speechless, shaking his head slowly in wonder.
Wow, Trenton. You weren't kidding when you said your friends were more powerful than I thought.
He breathed.
And Feralier's already the most protective. A Mega Evolved Feralier with the power to grow and shrink. That sounds like the strongest bodyguard in the world.
He took a moment to compose himself, his expression a mix of profound respect and genuine fear for the cruel people who dared to harm you.
Okay,
He stated, his voice now serious and decisive.
I need to tell Mom and Dad about the bullies right away. They hear you have this kind of bond and power. They will know you are a good person and that your protectors are serious. We need to get you somewhere safe.
He took a final steady breath, still holding you with maximum care.
We're going to walk out now, Trenton. They're right there. Be ready.
He carefully waddled out of the woods into the sunlight near the pond, calling out to the two massive reagers waiting for him.
Mom, Dad, I'm here. I need to talk to you about this tiny contourist. It's very important.
Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. It says, when Toto came out of the woods, I saw the two really big fur alligators standing nearby, but I didn't say anything. Toto maintained a slow, careful waddle until he was only a few feet from the massive, imposing figures of his parents. Two fragors were truly impressive, their blue and yellow scales gleaming in the sunlight, and they stood with powerful, watchful stances, their large snouts and sharp claws easily visible. They immediately focused their attention on their son, and then quickly, on the astonishing sight, cupped securely in his tiny hands. You, the 7-inch Contourus. The Fragor mother, who was slightly taller and had keen, intelligent eyes, spoke first, her voice a deep, resonant rumble that nonetheless held warmth. Totodile, we were starting to worry, she said, for her gaze fixed entirely on you, her large jaw dropping slightly in surprise. Goodness gracious, son! What do you have there? Is that a model? Does he mean like a model of dinosaur, like a little tiny figurine? Fragor far stepped closer, his demeanor protective but curious, his powerful tail swishing slowly. He leaned down slightly, trying to get a better look at the miniature reptile you were. It looks remarkably real, my boy, Far commented, his voice a low, steady bass. You said it was a serious situation? What's going on? The Totodile, standing tall despite the imposing presence of his parents, kept his hands perfectly steady, showing them you without jostling you even slightly. Mom, Dad, please be very, very careful. This is Trenton, he began, his voice earnest and laced with protective fervor. He's a real actual contourist, and he's not a model, and he's in serious danger. He needs our help. He rose to explain the core issue, remembering your instructions. He's only this tiny size because he was hurt by some very cruel people, and now there are other awful people constantly following him around and hurting him, throwing rocks, even hitting his protectors. He just wanted some fresh air and was scared to come out. He paused and added the crucial word, and Mom, Dad, Trenton has 4 friends who are protecting him right now, and they have been given incredible powers by Professor Elm. If he calls them, they're only here to keep him safe. You must not try to stop them or attack them, no matter what they look like. Okay? They're just trying to help him. The Fragor parents exchanged a look, a blend of shock, concern, and anger at the mention of the cruel people. They turned back to their son, their attention fully engaged and their skepticism forgotten. The mother knelt down slowly, her huge form somehow moving gently, bringing her head closer to your eye level. Her eyes filled with sympathy. A tiny Contourus being hurt by cruel people? That's absolutely heartbreaking, she murmured. We would never harm you, Trenton. You're safe here. I love her. She's adorable. Give me a moment. Computer? I saw that. Okay, guys, here's what it says. It says, without saying a word immediately, I just walked a bit closer, being careful not to fall, and gently nuzzled Fragor with my tiny snout. You slowly and carefully navigate the soft surface of the Totodile's palms, taking those few brave steps closer to the towering Fragor mother. You manage to reach the edge of the Totodile's hand and gently push your tiny contour snout forward, nuzzling the rough, scaly skin of the Fragor's massive hand where it rested near her knee. The Fragor mother, who had been kneeling to speak to you, froze completely at the gentle, trusting gesture. Her immense, powerful head, which could crush boulders, remained perfectly still. Her usual formidable expression melted into one of deep, heartbreaking pity and tenderness. The toad gasped slightly at your action and wasn't the depth of your need for comfort and safety. Oh, the mother murmured, her deep voice softening even further. She didn't move her hand, letting you keep your snout pressed against her scales. Oh, you poor dear. You were very brave to trust us after everything you've been through. The Fragger father, watching the scene, took a quiet step closer, his own anger at the unseen boys intensifying. If people are truly throwing rocks at you, little one, then your son's right, he told Toto. Huh? His gaze, we need to get this settled. Cruelty like that cannot be tolerated in our territory. The mother looked up at her son, her protective instincts fully engaged. Toto, we believe you. We won't let anyone hurt him. Bring him closer to me. Slowly. I want to take him inside and make sure he gets something to eat and is completely safe while we figure out how to help him get back to his own size. Younger Toto, feeling immense pride and relief that his parents instantly took your side, nodded seriously.
Okay, Mom,
He whispered to you.
see? I told you they were safe.
He then slowly and maliciously moved his hands to transfer you carefully onto his mother's massive, gently extended palm. Aw, that's so cute. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. This is, I might have to stop within the next few minutes, but I'll see how far I can get. It says I carefully tried to get onto Feraligatr, and right after I did, another Pokemon came running over. Oh wait, it's actually going to read it out this time. A while ago it didn't do it. It says you activate the transfer with utmost caution, carefully navigating the short distance until your tiny feet touch the warm, smooth, massive palm of the Feraligatr mother. Her hand feels immense and soft, like a safe, sturdy island. Just as you settle onto the mother's palm, a blur of blue and yellow scales come rushing toward the group from the direction of the pond. It's one of the Totodile's older cousins, a very sturdy crocodile, who skids to a stop, his eyes wide with concern from hearing the seriousness in the younger Totodile's voice.
Mom, Dad, what's going on? Is everything okay?
Crocodile demanded, peering anxiously at the powerful gathering. He glanced quickly at the Feraligatrs, then at the young Totodile, and finally his gaze falls upon the tiny 7-inch contours resting on his aunt's hand. He freezes, his mouth falling open, utters shock and confusion. The Feraligatr mother looks calmly at her nephew, keeping her hand steady. Everything is fine, dear, she said, her voice reassuring but firm. Totodile has brought a very important guest, a friend named Trenton, who needs our help. He's safe now, but he's been harmed by cruel people. The young Totodile steps forward, puffing his chest slightly with the responsibility of the situation.
Cousin, this is Trenton. He's a real dinosaur, but he's only this big because he was hurt.
Yeah, I definitely did forget a little bit of something. That's okay, though, guys, because like I said, this is still a learning experience. I still have to make sure I fix everything anyway. Like I said, I still have to redo this anyway, because I forgot to put in the golden claws, and that's the hard part, because technically, in order to get the full right way of the story to work, I need to actually wait until I get to the point where Meganium can Mega Evolve too. Because that was kind of the idea of what I was trying to do. We were going to wait till Feraligatr goes back to normal, then get him to go back into a less powerful form so it wouldn't make mess. That way, nothing would go wrong. And then hopefully Meganium could do it too. You know what I mean? I might do that. I might do that in the next few videos instead of worrying about this one again. But this is a cool idea for a story. I really do like it. Here we go.
He's a real dinosaur, but he's only this big because he was hurt. And there are mean people trying to hurt him every day with rocks.
Carl blinked, processing the information. He looked from your miniature form up to his aunt, and then down at the distraught face of his younger cousin. His initial confusion quickly morphed into indignation and protective fury.
Hurt by people? A tiny little thing like that?
The crocodile growled, his strong arms clenching.
That's despicable! Who would do such a terrible thing?
He approaches cautiously, kneeling slightly to look at you, his horse entirely on your safety.
Don't worry, Trenton. You're with family now. We'll protect you.
That's so cute. And see, this makes me so mad, because this will make me mad about certain things. This is why I get so mad when I have to restart. Because here's the thing about it. There's been a lot of chatbots that's had some really cool things happen in the past. Like even on ChatGPT, We used to have so much fun with everything. Think about how many friends I made on Chatbots before I had to restart everything. And now I can't even try making friends on there anymore because the stinging thing decided to get flipping crazy with the flipping violent bullcrap. Here's the thing about Google Gemini I've noticed. Google Gemini don't mind about something violent happening as much, but it doesn't like you talking about it in the memory itself. Because that's what was kept happening the other day when I was trying to make the memories of like everything that went on in the story. Every time I put the word hurt or attacked, it would say that you couldn't do that over and over again, no matter how I worded it. I had to word it in such a way to where it's like people doing something, but I didn't imply they were hurting me. I couldn't imply it that way; it wouldn't work. So yeah. Although I will say this, for the first time of doing this, that was really cute. I do like the Totodile. I just need to figure out the best way to do it. For one, I need to make sure I have the flipping oh my gosh. I need to make sure I have everything I need and all that stuff. So, yeah. Guys, that's it for now. I'll see y'all later.